Standing in mountain pose, nice and tall. Squeeze the shoulders up to the ears. Squeeze them and then bring them down the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Back up towards the ears. And then back down. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Clasp the hands. Squeeze the shoulder blades even more. Open the chest. Bring your chin to your chest. And rock the head from side to side. Tuck the tailbone under, belly button in. Inhale the arms up above to extended mountain. Open the chest to the sky. And then exhale the hands nice and slow all the way back down to mountain pose. Hands to heart center. Step the feet together if it's comfortable. You don't have to if you don't want to. And then push the tailbone back. Make sure you can see the tops of your feet and that your spine is nice and straight. This is called a chair pose. If you'd like, you can clasp the hands behind the back and squeeze the shoulder blades together to open the chest. You can also hinge from the hips to rest your chest on your upper thighs. You can open up the feet a little bit if you need some help with balance. Release the neck, let it be nice and soft. Push the tailbone back. Place your hands down onto the mat, coming into a forward fold. You can place your hands on your shins or your thighs here too if you would prefer. Lift the tailbone up nice and high, release the neck and the lower back. Inhale to a flat back, nice and strong. And you can get some movement in here. I like to walk my fold sometimes. Coming back into a forward fold. Relax. And then I want you to make your chest parallel to the floor. With your hands to heart center, think about pushing the tailbone back and reaching the top of the head forward to elongate the spine. Again, you can bend the knees here if you need to. Slowly use your legs to come up to a standing pose. Inhale the arms up above the head, open the chest to the sky. Engage the glutes and push the hips out a little bit just to open the chest higher. Come on back up. Hands to heart center. Breathe in. And then let's step the right foot back. So both legs are straight, both toes are pointing forward, both feet flat. And then hinge from the hips, making sure to keep the hips square. So you're going to probably want to push that left hip back and bring the right hip forward a little bit. Spine is nice and straight. And you can come down however long you want, as long as you keep that back straight. Breathe into the stretch. Push both feet equally into the mat. And then step that right foot back for a runner's lunge, dropping to the back of the right knee and foot. Hands are under your shoulders, come up on the fingertips to open the chest. And make sure that left knee is in line with the left ankle. That is so important. Relax the hips, let them go, and allow them to sink down and towards the floor. Go ahead and lift that right knee up to a full runner's lunge. And then let's step forward to that forward fold. Release everything and let it go. Make sure your weight is balanced. And then inhale as we do a reverse swan dive up to extended mountain. Tuck the tailbone under. Exhale, hands to heart center and chair pose once again. Push the tailbone back. Keep the chest open. Make sure you can see the tops of your feet. Inhale, stand up. And then let's exhale that left foot back just a little ways for pyramid. Both feet facing forward, both feet flat. Hinge from the hips. Nice straight spine. Try to make those hips square. Elongate the spine. Go ahead and step the left foot back now for that runner's lunge. Right knee over the right ankle, drop to the left knee and the back of the left foot. Come up on the fingertips to open the chest, and then push the hips down. Release the hips, let them go. Elongate the spine as you reach the top of your head, up and out. And then let's step forward to that forward fold. Tailbone up high, neck is soft. Step back, downward dog. Tailbone up high. Push the heels down towards the mat to elongate the backs of the legs. Come up onto the toes, and then push the heels back down towards the mat. Inhale as you lean forward, dropping the knees on the mat and the backs of the feet. Open the chest to the sky, hands beneath the shoulders, upward facing dog. Squeeze the glutes and press the hands into the mat to lift the chest high and lift the chin just a little bit. Don't be afraid to get some movement into your yoga poses if you want to rock from side to side or get some head movement, neck rolls in there. Let's go ahead and breathe in. And then exhale back into a child's pose, bringing our tailbone to our heels, resting our forehead on the floor. Open the jaw. And then inhale as you come back into that upward facing dog, dropping the hips down, opening the chest to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, child's pose. We're going to flow back and forth. So let's inhale forward, upward facing dog. And then exhale back, child's pose. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then think about flowing back. Exhale back, child's pose. Really flow from one pose into the next. Think about each movement. Have a full awareness of the body. Curl the toes under and then come into a downward dog. You can move in your dog a little bit if you'd like. And we're going to lift that right foot up to hip height. So hips are square to the mat. You don't have to lift that right foot up all the way to hip height if you don't want to, but try to flex the right foot. Push the right heel away from you. And then lower it back down, downward dog, and then switch sides. Left foot up, hip height, or about, lower or higher, wherever you feel today. Flex the left foot, push it behind you to elongate the legs. Downward dog. And then let's come down to our knees for tabletop, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Spread the fingers wide, push the tailbone back, reach the top of the head forward, and press your hands into the mat just a little bit. Let's come on up into a cat pose. And then inhale down into a cow pose, opening the chest to the sky. Inhale up, cat. Exhale, down, cow. Inhale up for cat. Push the back up. Exhale, down, open the chest, push the hands into the mat. Now let's go ahead and step that right foot behind the left foot, and then place your right hand on your right hip. Make sure your right toes are pointing towards the right, and find your balance. Try to look up to the sky, and if it feels okay, you can lift that right arm up to the sky as well. This is called a modified side plank. Try not to lock out the left elbow. Really push the left palm, knuckles, and fingers into the mat. Let's come back into tabletop, and then we're going to switch sides. Stepping that left foot back, opening up that left hip so the left foot is flat and pointing to the left. Left hand, left hip. Push the right hand into the mat for balance, and try to gaze up to the sky. If you want, lift that left arm up. Find the stretch. And also get those movements in. Maybe you want to just rotate that shoulder cuff a little bit. Maybe you can reach the arm forward and then backward. Maybe open the chest a little bit. Let's come back to tabletop. And now we're just going to sit all the way down onto the floor, bringing our knees into our chest. Hug the knees in just a little bit, push the tailbone down, and sit up nice and tall. Bring the chin to your chest. Stretch the back of the neck. Place your hands behind you and place your right ankle on your left knee. Flex the right foot to really get a deep stretch. Remember to sit up nice and tall. And we're going to switch sides. Bring your left ankle to the right knee, flex the left foot, push the left heel away from you. It really makes all the difference to add those little movements. Push the hands down into the mat, sit up nice and tall. Up our legs as wide as they can go. Place your right hand to the outside of the right leg and twist from the belly button to the right so that your chest is parallel to the mat. And then hinge forward from the hips, just about 10 degrees or so. Push the tailbone out behind you. Consciously do that. And then you can place your left hand on the outside of the right leg, just to help you keep that spinal twist. Make sure that your spine is straight and that you're not arching the back to bring your forehead closer to the leg. Notice that if you flex your feet, you're going to deepen the stretch. Let's go ahead and come on up, and then we're going to switch sides. Left hand on the outside of that left leg, sit up tall, breathe in. Exhale, twist from the belly button to the left, and then hinge forward on an exhalation. You can place your right hand to the outside of the left leg. Keep the spine as straight as possible. Try not to just hang out here. Try to stay engaged and active in all of your yoga poses. Let's come on back up, and then we're going to hinge forward. So let's breathe in, and then exhale, walk the hands out, just about 10 degrees or so. Make sure that spine stays straight. You don't have to go very far to get a good stretch, especially at first. Maybe after a while, with the next exhalation, you can walk the hands out a little bit more. And then I like to sway from side to side a little bit every once in a while. Continue breathing. And then let's slowly come on back up. And then we're going to sit in butterfly pose with the bottoms of our feet together. Relax the knees, open the hips, sit up nice and tall as you can. Remember to keep the chin in. Relax the shoulders. If you want to go ahead and stretch the neck, you can move your head from side to side, targeting any tightness that you may have. Remember to take those deep breaths. And then on your next exhalation, hinge from the hip to keep the spine nice and straight. And think about pushing the tailbone back, dropping the shoulders down the back, and reaching the top of the head up and out. Slowly come back up. And then let's cross the legs, sitting in a cross-legged position. And then place your right arm over the left. And try to wrap the arms around each other. You don't have to if you don't want to. But it helps if you can wrap the arms all the way around each other, even if it's just the fingertips, so that you can push the fingertips and the palms together as leverage to help open up the shoulders. And you're going to feel that stretch. Once you're there, I want you to inhale the elbows up. You don't have to lift them up very high, just to get that good stretch to deepen it even more. Now slowly, nice and slow, paying full attention to the stretch, bring your elbows into the chest. Inhale the elbows back up. Breathe. And release the hands. Clasp the hands behind the back, and then gently squeeze the shoulder blades together. Bring the chin to the chest. Think about getting some movements in here, some head movements. And then we're going to switch sides. So this time it's going to be left over right. Press the palms together to open the shoulders. Lift the elbows up to deepen the stretch. Relax the eyebrows and the jaw. And again, more neck movements if it feels okay. Take those deep breaths. And then let's slowly bring the elbows into the chest just a little bit, just to evolve the stretch. And then let's lift the elbows back up. And release. Clasp the hands behind the back. Nice gentle chest opener. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Place the hands to heart center, sit up nice and tall. Breathe in, exhale out through the mouth. Nice and slow. Breathe in, exhale through the mouth. Let's take a deep breath in, as deep as you can, and then hold it. Relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw. And slowly exhale through the mouth. Thank you for practicing with me today. Please stay in this pose however long you'd like. Namaste.